The Empire is on the move in its hunt for the rebels. Even on the remote planet of Hoth, Imperial probe droids are scouring the landscape for any intel that could lead to a decisive blow to the rebellion. Fortunately for the rebels, a recon party consisting of Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker are in place to intercept the Imperial probing. Decisive action is required by the rebels in order to hold off an impending Imperial invasion. The goal for the rebels is to destroy the probe droids before they are able to forward on vital information to the Empire. Will the rebels succeed in thwarting this probe, or will the Empire receive precisely the information it needs to begin its land assault? Find out as we play this special Episode 5 game of Star Wars Miniatures. Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely southern Sweden. For this video, we are going to be playing our first battle in our new Episode 5 series for Star Wars Miniatures. We are on the planet of Hoth, where our heroes are facing down Imperial probe droids. I'm going to be using a few special rules for this scenario that will affect future games, and I'll go ahead and explain those rules to you now, and we'll show you the various figurines we're going to be using for this battle. The rules for the scenario are quite simple. We will be playing 5 rounds. In each round, we will have one probe droid that will land in the center of the battlefield. Now, the Empire needs to get as many probe droids as possible off of the battlefield by fleeing one of the battlefield edges. The rebels, on the other hand, will need to try to destroy as many probe droids as possible. For each probe droid that successfully escapes from the battlefield, we will be given an extra AT-ST in an upcoming battle. So it is obviously to the advantage of the Empire to have the probe droids escape and pass on the information to the Empire. For the rebels, obviously we want to destroy as many as possible, and if we destroy all 5, then the Empire will not get any additional AT-STs. So here we have a 4-foot by 4-foot space that is set up. Let's go ahead and look at the positions for our 3 characters and the blast zone. Now the blast zone is going to be right here in the middle of the battlefield, as much as possible exactly in the middle, which means that we're going to have to be going 24 inches to get off the battlefield. Now we're going to have 3 characters with us, and this way we are going a little bit against the film Empire Strikes Back, but for the sake of this game, we're going to have 3 of our characters with us. Han Solo is going to be over here on foot. We're going to have Chewbacca over here behind this rock, and then we're going to have Luke Skywalker over here on Tauntaun. So that will be the 3 characters that will be trying to prevent the probe droids from escaping the battlefield.
Hey kid, Chewie, did you see that? Did you hear that? Sounds like a meteor or something. Let's go check it out. All right, Han, I'm on it.
Time to roll for initiative. The Empire is using the blue and the rebels are using the red. We have the recon rule for our probe droid, so we get to roll this twice and take whichever one we want. Obviously the higher. Well, there we go. We don't need to do it. Let's do it anyway. 19 to a 2. So the probe droid will begin. And the particular movement of the probe droid will be run by this direction arrow. Let's go ahead and roll that off and see which direction we go. And that is a very fascinating roll because it will take us right into Chewbacca. So basically, we're going to treat this like a charge onto Chewbacca.
Chewie, get out of there! It's coming your way!
All right, here we go. Our first combat, the probe droid will be attacking Chewbacca. So we have an attack of +1 against a defense of a 17. So we need a 16 plus 2 hit, and it's a 6. That's going to miss. End of the Empire turn. Let's have the rebels activate now. Chewie's going to come back and attack where he is. Chewie has a benefit of +9 on his attack, so we need a 5+ to hit. And it's an 18. That will be a hit. 20 points of damage, dropping the probe droid down to 10. Next up, let's activate Han Solo here and have him take a shot off over onto the probe droid. Han Solo hitting on a 6+. Here we go. And it is a 6. He still has a double attack, so he could have had another attack, but that 6 will go through, causing 20 points of damage. That's enough to destroy the probe droid. With the self-destruct rule, the probe droid will blow up and cause 10 points of damage to all adjacent figurines. So Chewie will take 10 damage. Okay, second probe droid, and we are in round 2, so let's roll off for initiative. A new round, we get a new recon roll for the droid. Here we go, starting off with a 16 to a 2. We don't need to re-roll that. Once again, the droid gets to begin. And let's roll for direction of flight. We're going to go this way. Droid activation is over. Let's go to the rebels. Now, Luke is not going to let this guy run away, so he's going to run and go into hand-to-hand combat with him. The risk if he shoots is that he might miss, and the droid continues. All right, Luke is going to be attacking. Let's spend 3 of our 3 force points to make this next attack a critical hit if it goes through. Luke is going to be hitting on a 6. So here we go. 7! Yes! So 10 points plus 10 points for the lightsaber, doubled for the critical hit is 40 points. That's enough to destroy this guy, but he is going to self-destruct, causing 10 points of damage to Luke.
Kid, you okay? Kid, over. Yeah, I'm alright, Han. A little singed, but I'm alright.
All right, folks, this is our third droid. Let's go ahead and roll off for initiative. Once again, the droid gets to roll 2 d20s. All right, 17 to 15. We don't need to re-roll that. The droid will also get to move the first round here. And rolling for direction. We are going out that way. Over to the rebels. Let's start by activating Chewbacca. We're going to run him up on top of this rock. Now, unfortunately, he's not going to have a line of sight that is completely clear, so he will have a -4 to his attack. So that means Chewbacca is going to be hitting on a 9+, and it's a 3! No, he misses! Next up, let's have Han Solo. He's going to have to run out from his position here a little bit out this direction in order to get a shot off. And with that movement, we will indeed have a clear line of sight. So let's go ahead and take a shot off. All right, Han Solo, 6+ for 20 points of damage. No, it's a natural 1. Oh, no, he fails. All right, we have a double attack, so we get a second shot here. And a 15 that goes through. So 20 points of damage, leaving our probe droid at 10. Final activation for the rebels. Let's run Luke here and have him come out so he can get a shot off. The Tauntaun has a movement of 8, but we're only going to need 6. So let's run him right here. Take off a shot. All right, Luke. Rolling here now, hitting on a 6+. If we miss, it is likely that the probe droid will escape. So this is a huge roll. 6+. Here we go. It's a 16. Okay, 10 points of damage. That's enough to take out that third probe droid. On to our fourth probe droid. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Here we go. And once again, the probe droid is going to win. Let's roll off for direction. Chewbacca is going to activate jump down and take off a shot. Hitting on a 5+. And a 19 will be 20 points of damage, dropping that guy down to 10. All right, we're going to activate Han Solo here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get anywhere because of that rock. So we're going to just go ahead and move him as maximum movement over here and give him a place by this rock in preparation for any future droids. So that leaves us to Luke Skywalker. Luke is able to move a little bit to get a shot off. And just moving ever so slightly so that we make sure we get a nice clean shot from here onto that droid. Luke, we are going to need a 6+, so here we go, rolling this off, and it's a 16, yes. Fifth and final droid. Let's go ahead and roll off for initiative. Here we go. And it's a 2 to a 16, but we get to re-roll our die for the Empire. And it's also a 16, which means we have to re-roll again. And I'm following the rules here, reconnaissance. We get 2 rolls again if we need to re-roll. No. So 14 to 4, the rebels will begin on this one. Let's start off with Han Solo here. Is he within range for a charge? Yes, he is indeed within range, so it was good he moved to where he did. We're going to bring him into base-to-base contact so that that guy cannot easily flee. All right, here we go. We move, so we do not get a double attack. Only 1 attack. 6+ we hit for 20 points of damage. And it's a 10, yes. Dropping that droid down to 10 points. Next off, let's have Chewbacca climb back up on that rock and take off a shot.
Whoa, that was a tough one, kid. I got a little burnt there. You doing all right, Chewie? All right, let's get back to the base and report what's going on here. I think the Empire knows we're here. All right, Han, I'll join you a little bit. I saw something over there off on the ridge. I'm going to go check it out. All right, kid. Well, you take a quick run over there. Chewie and I will head back to the base. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, Han. See you soon.
Well, there you have it, folks. A quick bat rep where we have played through the first scene of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this was a bit of a one-sided battle because, obviously, we have heroes up against droids. It's kind of what I had expected. I was hoping that the droids were going to be able to escape, and they almost did on a couple of occasions. But what this means is that the Empire will not have any additional AT-STs in an upcoming land battle. If you appreciate this kind of content, you want to see more like it where we play through Episode 5 with Star Wars miniatures, then please do give me a thumbs up to this video, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I will carry on making more videos in this series. And most importantly, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.